Exciting new features coming to the Quest headsets, including an avatar selfie cam. The UFC has officially partnered with Meta to bring fight fans exclusive VR content, and the latest Apple Vision Pro knockoff by Vivo. All that and more coming up in this episode of the Virtual Lowdown. What's going on, virtual friends? Welcome to the Virtual Lowdown, the show where I bring you the latest and most exciting news happening in the VR world. I'm your host Pete, and for our first story of today, Meta are expected to be releasing a new pair of smart glasses with a heads-up display. Now, this is exactly what was missing from the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses partnership. At least for me, that's the reason I never really picked one up. I was waiting for an iteration that had a heads-up display and a little bit more functionality. Well, it seems like the now leaked Hypernova smart glasses could be releasing with just that. So the Hypernova is expected to release with an improved set of features, including the heads-up display, which will basically be like an overlay over your real-world vision that will allow you to see information, things like notifications, like what song is playing, various things like that, like map directions. If you're like walking somewhere, you don't have to get your phone out and follow directions. You can literally have directions in your glasses showing you which way to go. The use cases are limitless. There's like a lot that can be done with this kind of technology. Now, of course, they will still be keeping the same features as the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses, so things like the camera and like audio functionality. Potentially also touch control in the side, like the arm of the glasses, for things like skipping to the next song or like changing the volume of your audio. But where things get really exciting is that they're expected to be shipping with the EMG wristband that has been teased for quite a while now. This is something that I've personally been looking forward to. If you're not sure what it is, it's basically a wristband that you will wear that will kind of track the hand movements and gestures that you do with your fingers, and that will allow you to perform different actions on your smart device, in this case your smart glasses. Now, I'm very excited for this next step in wearable technology. However, at the moment it's rumored to be priced anywhere between $1,000 and $1,400 US. So at that price range, I don't think I will be picking a pair up, but it is a good first step, and as always, the technology gets better and the prices go down, so we'll just have to be a little bit more patient for this technology to become more consumer friendly, shall we say. And for our next story, leaks have suggested that screen sharing for 2D apps could be coming to a new update to Horizon OS, and that is the operating system that runs on Quest, if you're not familiar. So Horizon OS could soon introduce the ability to screen share 2D apps directly from your computer's desktop to other people in your virtual environment. Now, this feature may seem pretty simple and basic, but it is currently missing from the Quest headsets and would be a real game changer for productivity purposes. I actually recently discovered this with the YouTube app. Currently, the YouTube app is the only one that I'm aware of that actually has this functionality. You can basically have your YouTube window up in your virtual home environment and invite other people to come over and watch the video with you. Pretty cool, pretty simple, but this is now going to be extended to all 2D windows and apps. So again, great for productivity. I've had experiences in the past where I've wanted to share a screen. I've had meetings for work in VR with my colleagues, and where we want to share our screen. It's actually not as straightforward as you would have hoped. You have to get set up on something like Immersed or even Big Screen, but being able to do that directly from your Horizon Meta home environment would be super easy and super convenient. Another highly requested feature that could be coming in a future Horizon update is the avatar selfie cam. So if you are familiar with the Apple Vision Pro, they already do something similar to this, where you can basically video call someone from within your headset and it will create a fake video avatar of you that the other person will see on their video chat. And basically that feature is coming to the Quest headsets. Near enough anyway. While the Apple Vision Pro avatars are more photorealistic, the ones in Horizon are expected to be your normal Horizon avatars, so definitely not realistic, quite cartoony, but I definitely think it will be a welcome feature. I use WhatsApp quite a lot to text people while I'm in VR, so I don't have to take the headset off. Sometimes I get phone calls while I'm in VR, and it would just be really convenient if I didn't have to remove the headset and answer my phone, if I could just answer it and have a video call from within VR. I don't know, I think it might be a bit of fun as well as more convenient in some cases. And if you're hoping for more realistic avatars, like maybe having your kind of cartoony Meta avatar isn't appropriate for every video call that you'll be having, well, Meta is also working on their codec avatars, which again have been teased for quite a long time, but basically they are your photorealistic avatars that will use your phone to create a scan of the user's face and then turn that into like a 3D avatar, which is pretty crazy that technology has come this far that we can do that just with our mobile devices. Unfortunately, it's expected that this technology might not be available for the current Quest headsets. They might be reserved for like future headsets that have improvements to hardware. Things like eye tracking and face tracking might be necessary, but still lots of cool stuff to look forward to down the line. Speaking of cool stuff, Meta has officially partnered with the UFC on their Quest headsets. So if you've been keeping up with the life of Mr. Zuckerberg, then you'd know that he's been hanging out with Dana White quite a lot, and he's got into MMA training himself, and seems to be quite a big UFC fan. So this collaboration isn't much of a surprise, but I am still looking forward to seeing what kind of content that they produce from this partnership. So of course, we're expecting to see things like live UFC fights available in your headset. I know they already do things like they put the camera, like a 360 or a 180 degree camera, in the ring or at the side of the octagon, so you can feel like you're literally ringside during the fights, which is really cool. But they've also said that there'll be other immersive content for UFC fans coming out, so we'll just have to wait and see what they've got in stock. I expect a lot of this content will be hosted in Horizon Worlds, but I hope that they don't limit it to Horizon Worlds, because that's not available everywhere in the world, including where I am in Thailand. It'd be cool if they made this available on some other kind of platform, maybe a different app for the Quest. But either way, this will be a solid win for those like myself who are both fans of the UFC and of VR. And for our final story of the day, it was just a matter of time before we saw the Chinese knockoff version of the Apple Vision Pro, and it seems that Vivo are here to deliver. So Vivo are a smartphone manufacturer who make kind of like lower middle range smartphones, and the Vivo Vision, yes, that's literally what they've called it. The Vivo Vision will be the first introduction into the mixed reality space for them. Now, if you heard the name Vivo Vision and you're looking at this design and you're thinking something looks a little bit familiar here, well, that's because it's almost an exact knockoff of the Apple Vision Pro. At least on the outside. And they aren't even trying to hide it. Everything from the grey fabric facial interface to the glass visor at the front. They've even got an external battery with like a knitted cable to connect it. And just to top it off, the knitted head strap that goes at the back. It just all looks identical to the Apple Vision Pro. I mean, they didn't even try with the name. The Vivo Vision, really? I mean, I feel like they could have, been a little bit more creative with that name. Now, before you dismiss this headset, however, I actually think that it could be a good thing if they nail a couple things. So as I mentioned earlier, Vivo are typically known for making kind of middle-range budget smartphones, and if that applies to the Vivo Vision, then we could be getting a headset that has most of the functionality of the Apple Vision Pro for a fraction of the price. Now, there's a couple main concerns for me. The first one being the obvious one, like if the hardware is just garbage, then the whole headset is going to be a write-off anyway. However, if the hardware is implemented in even 90% of what the Apple Vision Pro is, then this could be a really solid headset, again, depending on how they price it. Like, I wouldn't mind if they cut a few corners here and there if that kept the price down. Like, they can get rid of the weird eyesight, Apple, what is it called? The thing where you see the eyes through the headset. Like, that's just kind of freaky. They can get rid of that, and I'm sure that will keep the cost even lower. But the other main concern for this is, of course, the software end of things. We don't know what operating system this is going to be running on. They could be doing their own operating system, which I think would be a terrible idea. But if they decide to partner up and use Meta's Horizon OS, this could be a real game changer. Imagine having most of the functionality of the Apple Vision Pro for a fraction of the price and having access to Meta's entire store and ecosystem. I think that would be a real winner. But if they were to create their own operating system, I feel like they would really struggle to have a strong user base, and they would struggle again with a lack of content there. I think something similar happened with the Pico actually, and it's why they never really took off as a competitor to the Quest. But as always, this is all just speculation, so if you want to know how this pans out, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel for future updates as they come out. And that is going to be it for today's episode of the Virtual Lowdown. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you did leave me a like. It really helps out a small channel like myself. And actually, if you made it this far, then I just want to say a heartfelt thank you for actually watching the entire video. I see you, appreciate you. And if you want more content from me, there's a couple of video suggestions floating in the air right here. Both great options. You can just click either of them and you'll have a great time. I'll see you over there. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.